Hello, I'm Dr. Larry Carnes, and welcome to Books of the Month. We're so excited and glad that you could join us. We have a very special guest with us, Symone Smith, who has a powerful book, I Can Read. Miss Smith, how are you today?
Hi, I'm fine. And yourself?
I'm doing well, thank you. Thank you for asking. Optimal blessings to you. Listen, do us a favor and introduce yourself to our audience before we start to unpack this powerful book that you've written.
Great. So I am Symone Smith. I'm a mother of three. I'm a New Orleans native, and I love to read. I enjoy dancing and having fun with my children. I'm 33 years old, and that's pretty much it about myself.
Awesome. Listen, I'm looking at this book. I Can Read. And you say something here. You tell us that I Can Read isn't your traditional book. And then you say, with the 26 letters in the alphabet, new animals are named, giving children a different look at education and wildlife. Speak to us about that and share a little bit about that with our audience.
So yes, I Can Read is so not the traditional children's book. I Can Read have animals from all over the world, and it really shows children in other demographics how they are still able to connect to I Can Read.
Okay, now you say animals from all over the world. How do you relate the alphabet with animals from all over the world? And how is that educational for our children?
But most children starts with the alphabet book of apple, alligator, and ant. I decided to take it broader than what's normal. So I started my book off with aardvark. Many children have no idea what an aardvark is. Most adults are like, an aardvark? And I'm like, yes, it's an aardvark. And so when I go into further explaining all of the great things that an aardvark can do, they are completely amazed. They're surprised. Also, if you look on page 7, I have a gar. No one knew what a gar was. I had so many adult readers as well as children ask me, what is a gar? And I left a fun fact for them, which means they had to take their cell phone, look up the answer, and find out where is this gar actually located.
Now that is so powerful and it's creative at the same time. So you're educating, you're sharing new information, but at the same time, you're requiring the reader to engage and get involved in the process.
Yes.
That's creative. Where did you come up with this awesome idea to write and do it this way?
My target audience is children who are experiencing developmental delay, which means they're having a hard time keeping that attention and the attention span and focus in writing and reading. So I picked these different animals and this type of interaction to keep them attentive and wanting to learn more about the alphabet.
Wow. So you're reaching out to an audience who would normally not able to be connected with because of some challenges that they may be having. And you came out with this creative idea to engage them, to educate them, but at the same time, meet them at the level where they are in order for them to be included and not feel that they were excluded. Would that be an accurate statement?
Yes, that is very accurate.
So speak to our audience about what motivated you to do this.
My son experiences a great deal of developmental delay. His attention span is super short. And when he has to write, I noticed that sometimes his handwriting can be too big, too small. So I included in my book a section for the children to be able to practice their handwriting, punctuation, and also to have fun while they're reading.
That is so powerful. So now I'm listening to you. And so out of your pain and your passion, it appears that you discovered purpose. Would that be an accurate statement?
Yes.
Talk to me about the fulfillment that you're getting. First of all, let's ask this question. Are you seeing any benefits with your own son as a result of your project? And then what type of feedback and response are you getting from others?
But for most of my adult readers, I find that they are really surprised and amazed. Like on another page that I have, you see that a possum. Many people say possum starts with P. It does not start with the letter P.
Right.
Possum is actually correctly said to be an opossum. possum.
Yes,
So once I
ma'am.
had a good adult friend of mine, he said, oh yeah, she's playing possum. So I had to let him know that possum actually starts with the letter O. So that was great for all of my adult readers. And as far as with children, they have really shown a different level of learning and acknowledging how to punctuate, also to appreciate different animals. So it's not just the traditional alligator, bat, cat. They're getting the opportunity to expand their own vocabulary, and they're getting the opportunity to see different animals that's not that's not here in the city of New Orleans, Louisiana, because I'm located in New Orleans. So when they go to the zoo, because we recently went on a field trip, they're looking like, wait, I seen this in the book. I seen this in the book. And when they actually see the word aardvark and they associate it with my book, that made me feel fulfilled as an author, and as showing them education just came to life.
My goodness. So you found a source of fulfillment in your own personal life, even
Yeah.
as you've extended yourself to be a benefit to serve humanity. You found a source of fulfillment in yourself. That is so powerful. Give us some other examples, because you got me. I'm trying to think of some animal names that I don't even have a clue. Give us another example of an animal that may not be common in our everyday vocabulary here in the United States.
So I have a zakor,
What?
a zakor.
Okay, that sounds
Yes,
like
it starts with the
a
letter
car.
Z. And in my book, it's the last page. It shows how he does not hibernate, and he's most active in the spring. And you have to completely rewrite that sentence. That sentence is all wrong. I worded it wrong. I did everything but the right thing when I wrote this sentence, because I wanted the children to have a voice to say, okay, this is incorrect and this is a different animal. What is this? Where does it come from? So that's what I did with that.
So you're challenging while educating,
Yeah.
but you're putting it in a way that a child will be able to connect to it. It really sounds like the book is transgenerational, although it's written for children. I heard you say that even adults can connect with it and learn things from themselves.
Yeah.
That is amazing. So now you say that you wrote it in a way that is incorrect. What's an example? What do you mean you wrote it in a way that's incorrect and it's going to challenge the student or the reader to write the sentence correctly?
But if you look in my book, it's page 13. It's the letter M, and you will notice that I have Mamba, and I tell them to run. But when I say run, I use a period and not an exclamation point, because I want them to identify that, oh, wait, that period doesn't go there. That is supposed to be an exclamation point. So when you start teaching children to use their voice and their eyesight at an early stage, once they get to the fourth grade, which here in the city of New Orleans, we take a leap test to get them to the next grade, they're going to be able to have that high mastery English score, because they are going to be familiar with punctuation, grammar, and proper spelling.
Now, that speaks volumes. You're making it possible because you're finding a way to articulate on a level where even someone, a child who's maybe having some challenges comprehending, normally you're educating, you're teaching grammar, punctuation, you're introducing things to the children that they've never seen before, expanding their vocabulary, and also giving them an increase into the animal world. That's powerful. This creative idea, how long did it take you to come up with this?
I started working on my book 2 years ago before I decided to actually publish.
Okay, 2 years in the making. And it stems because you have a son, and then you noticed some things that he needed. And so out of that, would it be safe to say, accurate to say, that if you knew if you had the need, that there were others who had the need also?
Yeah.
What type of response and feedback have you been getting from others?
I received a lot of positive responses from English teachers. Like one English teacher, she read my book from the front to the finish, and she said, "Wait a minute, your book contains so many errors. I cannot believe you published a book with errors." And I said, "Well, if you turn on the back of the book, you will see that it says grammatical errors are included for reading and comprehension." So I enjoyed that. I met a doctor. His name is Dr. Ty. He works at Children's Hospital. And he said, "Oh, wow, I really enjoyed your book. It's interaction." And he told me how that's amazing because most books are not made for children to write in them. So he really made my day when he said those things. And that was great. Also, as parents, they have told me, "I have never heard of these animals. My child will love this book." And I watched children sit down and read my book in front of me, front to finish. And she said, "I love the way you wrote your book." And I was like, "Oh my goodness." And her name's Hannah. She said, "I want to be a doctor when I grow up." And she told me how much she loved my book. And she said, "One day I might decide to write a book as well." And that really touched me to see her actually enjoy reading my book in my presence.
Wow. So in the process of you fulfilling this dream, fulfilling your purpose that you're embarked upon, you're encouraging others to do the same. And then you're encouraging others to possibly become authors themselves further down the road. That is really, really, really amazing. I want to do something here. And so this is really, really powerful. Uh, we're going to take a few minutes here and see, you got about 30 seconds. I want you to do this. Take 30 seconds, share some information with our viewing audience, how they can contact you, get in touch with you, if you have a website or an email. Share that with our viewing audience. Take about 60 seconds to do that.
Okay, great. So 60 seconds or less.
Yes.
Follow me on Instagram, magnificent_LLC. And my website is www.magnificentllc.com. That's it.
Now that was great. Listen, this is such a powerful book.
Oh, yeah.
I can read. It's innovative. It's all inclusive. It opens up a whole world of creativity and excitement for those who may have been challenged from a difficult perspective, but you've done some things to make it so much easier. Thank you so much for being our special guest with us today. Listen, I'm Dr. Larry Carnes. This has been Books of the Month. We thank you so very much for tuning in. Make sure that you go and get this powerful book by Symone Smith, I Can Read. It will be innovative. It will transform a world for adults and children alike. We look forward to seeing you again right here on Books of the Month.
Thank you.